key takeaway is the fact that if we can actually drive the scale that we're already seeing for Stanley Black & Decker, then the possibility of multiple companies doing the same can create some massively significant impact for the industry. So that would be the takeaway. So it is possible to make that impact with scale. That's a great question. If I go back to my experience base, I would say about 5 years back, it was all about driving additional operational excellence with the tools that was already there. So it was getting to a point of almost raging incrementalism, whereas now what we're looking at is with a fresh set of eyes, with a fresh set of tools, and a whole host of energy that's pumping, the potential and the enthusiasm in the industry. So that's how I would describe it today. There are several ways it's going to drive the impact. For one, I think the ability to drive some serious nonlinear step change kind of impact is quite possible. The industry is used to about 5 to 6% of productivity year on year. With these technology sets that we're talking about, the possibility to drive it to 20 to 30% is quite possible. That's number one. The second important benefit is the consistency with which we can deliver these results with less brute force, if you will, is a second big benefit. And the third big benefit, of course, is the people. When you drive technology the right way, the ability to upskill and elevate their opportunities and positioning within manufacturing is massive. So those would be the top three reasons. The number one foundational technology that manufacturers will have to do is to implement a connected factory concept. In other words, a strategy or a set of tools that will allow them to connect their people, assets, and processes together. That is foundational. It has to be done to leverage any and all of the benefits that these technology sets on our Industry 4.0 promises. So that to me is the number one thing that all companies will have to do. So we're doing a couple of things. Number one, we are approaching this as a long-term program with committed executive sponsorship and the support for this transformation to become real at scale, which is extremely important. Number two, what we're also doing is creating an operating system that will actually help sustain this change in a very consistent manner. So we've always had this concept of a Stanley fulfillment system, which is our operating system, if you will, that helped us drive top quartile performance with our operations. So now we believe that we can put it on steroids, if you think about it, by putting in all of the technologies, now create a digital overlay on top of what we already have with SFS, also called Stanley Fulfillment System. So these two levers are going to be extremely important. That'll help us drive excellence for the next 2 decades to come. The possibilities of driving change in manufacturing is significant, mainly because this industry has been starved for decades in terms of financial investments as well as technology. Now that it is here, I believe we're just scratching the surface of possibilities. So when my team comes up with a great idea, that is obviously a wonderful thing. We'll implement it, but based on what I'm seeing with my experience, I think the opportunity is at least 3x from what we're seeing in the industry today. So that is what I tell my team. I was impressed by the quality of the audience that I met today, the quality of the speakers. So far I'm quite impressed with what you've been able to assemble as this unique set of audience. And I have been able to strike a conversation or two that could be very beneficial to the transformation that I'm driving.